This is the story of how Ethan, a serial entrepreneur with more ideas than successes, discovered that sometimes the best business plan is listening to your heart. The name of this story is Heart Logic. Ethan was the kind of guy who couldn't stand still without conjuring up a new business idea. Waiting in line for coffee? Well, he'd sketch out plans for a self-heating mug. Stuck in traffic? He'd muse about carpool karaoke apps until he realized that was already a thing. Straight out of college, Ethan launched Brew to Go, a mobile coffee truck that doubled as a library. It seemed like a novel idea until he realized that books and espresso machines don't necessarily mix, especially when you hit a speed bump. The soggy pages of War and Peace still haunting him to this day. Not one to be discouraged, Ethan shifted gears to create Tie-rific, offering subscription boxes of outrageous neckties for the corporate rebel. While he did manage to make Flamingo Friday a brief trend at a local accounting firm, it wasn't exactly the fashion revolution he'd envisioned. His next venture was Rent a Chicken, targeting urban dwellers craving farm-fresh eggs without the long-term commitment. It gained some initial interest until a rogue rooster mistook a studio apartment for a barnyard at dawn. Noise complaints skyrocketed, and Ethan had to scramble, much like the eggs that his clients never got. Friends began to tease him, saying he'd cornered the market on niche of a niche businesses. Ethan laughed it off, but he couldn't shake the feeling that he was missing something. One evening, while attempting to create a mind map for Umbrella Share, an app to rent umbrellas during unexpected rainstorms, his best friend Maya interrupted him. "Ethan, have you ever thought about what you actually love doing?" He looked up puzzled. "You mean besides trying to prevent people from getting wet?" Maya chuckled. "Yes, besides that, what makes you happy?" He pondered for a moment. "Well, I've always loved cooking. Remember in college when I'd whip up those midnight pancakes?" "Exactly," Maya explained. "Why not do something with that?" Ethan waved her off. Everyone's a foodie these days. Besides, my culinary skills are limited to breakfast foods." Maya shrugged. "Maybe that's enough." That night, Ethan couldn't shake the thought. He found himself in the kitchen mixing ingredients almost absent-mindedly. Before he knew it, he had a stack of his famous blueberry pancakes. He took a bite and was instantly transported to simpler times. An idea began to form. Not a business scheme necessarily, but a genuine passion project. What if he started a late-night pancake food truck? There were plenty of night owls and students craving comfort food after hours. He decided to give it a shot. Using the last of his savings, he bought a used food truck and gave it a fresh coat of paint and named it Midnight Munchies. To his surprise, the response was overwhelming. Word spread quickly, and soon there were lines around the block. One night, a customer asked, "What's your secret? These pancakes taste like home." Ethan smiled. "I guess they're made with love," he said, realizing it sounded cheesy, but knowing it was true. As weeks went by, Ethan noticed something different. He didn't dread going to work. In fact, he looked forward to it. The hours flew by, and he felt energized rather than drained afterwards. He wasn't just feeding people, he was connecting with them. One evening, Maya stopped by the truck. "Looks like you found your calling," she said, biting into a chocolate chip pancake. Ethan laughed. Who knew that all my failed ventures would lead me back to my own kitchen? Maybe it was less about failing and more about finding your way. Maya suggested. Business continued to boom, and Ethan expanded to include waffle weekends and crepe Wednesdays. He even started hosting mini pancake art competitions where customers would create flapjack masterpieces. The local news caught wind of it, dubbing him the Pancake Picasso. One day, while flipping pancakes shaped like dinosaurs, Ethan realized that he hadn't thought about profit margins or market trends in weeks. He was too busy enjoying himself and the success that came naturally with it. A regular customer, Mrs. Thompson, told him, your pancakes are great, but it's your joy that keeps us coming back. Ethan felt a warmth that no profitable quarterly report had ever given him. He finally understood what he'd been missing all along. Now, Ethan's journey shows that success isn't just about chasing ideas that seem profitable on paper. When you align your work, whatever that looks like, with what you truly love, it doesn't feel like work at all. By listening to his heart rather than his head, Ethan found a path that brought him fulfillment and genuine success. Sometimes the most rewarding ventures are the ones that nourish not just others, but yourself as well.